Most Blender artists waste months being mediocre at everything instead of being great at one thing. They think learning it all at once makes them well-rounded. It just makes them unemployable. From 7 years of experience, here's how to actually get good. Number 1. Learn by doing, not by watching endlessly. Look, tutorials feel productive. You're sitting there watching someone model a donut or build an environment, nodding along like you're actually learning something. It's the same dopamine hit you get from watching motivation videos on YouTube.
You're broke! You're fucking poor!
Feels great in the moment, but if you never actually do anything with it, it's worthless. In the beginning, yeah, watch tutorials. You need to figure out how to actually navigate the software without wanting to throw your computer out the window. But once you've got the basics down, and I mean the basics, like moving around the viewport and using simple tools, you need to stop watching and start making stuff. Here's what actually happens when you just keep watching. You think you're learning, but you're really just training yourself to be a good watcher. You can recognize good topology when you see it, sure. You know what good lighting looks like, but can you actually create it yourself? Probably not, because watching and doing are completely different skills. The real learning happens when you hit a problem. You're trying to model something and you can't figure out how to get the topology right. You're setting up a scene and the lighting looks flat no matter what you do. That's when you search for a specific tutorial, check a forum, scroll through Reddit. You're building actual knowledge in areas you need it, right when you need it. That's the stuff that sticks. Compare that to watching a 2-hour lighting tutorial when you're not even working on anything. You might remember 10% of it, and even that will be gone in a week because you had no context to attach it to. Endlessly watching tutorials without making anything is just procrastination with extra steps. Start building things, even if they're bad, because that's how you figure out what you don't know. Number 2. Pick a lane and get good at it. Whatever got you interested in 3D in the first place, that's what you should focus on. Was it an animated short you saw? Focus on animation. Was it a sick environment render on Instagram? Learn environment art. Did you want to make a short film? Cool. Break down what you need to learn and prioritize the important parts. Even if your end goal is to be a generalist who can do everything, you still need to pick one area and actually get good at it first. This does 2 things. It gives you a solid foundation in Blender overall, and it keeps you motivated because you're actually making progress toward the thing that inspired you to start. I see people all the time trying to learn modeling, animation, texturing, and rendering all at once because they don't want to limit themselves. What actually happens is they spread themselves so thin that they never get good at any of it. They're stuck in this weird middle ground where they kind of know everything but can't actually produce anything impressive. Once you've learned one area well enough that you're happy with what you're creating, you can always step back and learn other stuff. The skills transfer more than you'd think. If you get good at animation, you'll understand timing and weight, which helps with literally everything else. If you master environment art, you'll have a strong foundation in composition and lighting that applies everywhere. But trying to learn everything at once, that's how you end up being mediocre at everything, and mediocre doesn't get you anywhere. Think about it. If you spend a year dabbling in modeling, animation, texturing, rigging, and rendering, you'll have surface-level knowledge of all of it but nothing impressive to show for your time. Your portfolio will be full of half-finished projects and things that are pretty good but not great at anything specific. But if you spend time that same year focusing on just animation, you'd have some genuinely good work even if the environment around your character is basic. You could actually show that to someone and they'd be impressed. You'd have a skill you could get paid for. Getting a little bit good at everything just means you'll produce crappy projects where every part is underwhelming. Pick one thing, get good at it, then expand from there. Number 3. Accelerate your learning with courses and external tools. Everything you want to know about Blender is probably available for free somewhere, but it's scattered across YouTube, forums, documentation, random blog posts from 2017. If you're serious about learning and you've got the budget, buying a proper course can speed things up massively. I'm not trying to sell you anything here, I don't have a course, but the ones I've bought in the past have been ridiculously helpful. They're structured, they cover everything you need in order, and you're not piecing together information from 10 different sources. You're learning from someone who actually knows what they're doing and has organized the information in a way that makes sense. The time you save by having everything in one place, explained properly, usually makes up for the cost pretty quickly. Plus, when you pay for something, you're way more likely to actually finish it instead of abandoning it halfway through like most free tutorials. If you can't afford a course, there are tons of solid free ones on YouTube. The key is actually following along, not just watching them while scrolling on your phone. Treat free courses with the same commitment you'd give a paid one. Otherwise, you're just back to the tutorial watching problem. As you're building up your skills in one area, you're going to end up creating a lot of assets, custom models, materials, test objects, all that stuff. And if you're not organized from the start, finding anything becomes a nightmare. That's where Connector comes in. They're sponsoring this video. It's a free asset manager that keeps all your models, materials, and project files in one visual library instead of scattered across random folders. I've been using it lately and it's made things way easier. Everything's in one place where I can actually see what I have. You can preview assets instantly, tag them, filter them, and drag them straight into your scene. It works with cloud storage too, so your library stays consistent across projects. Setting it up takes like 2 minutes. Download Connector from their website, open the Integration tab, and select Blender. Then in Blender, right-click any object or material and hit Add as Asset. After that, you can drag those assets into any project directly from Connector. It mainly just reduces clutter. You can organize everything into folders, props, materials, whatever, and Connector generates previews so you're not opening files just to remember what's in them. If you've ever wasted time hunting down an asset you made weeks ago, this fixes that. Plus, it works with other softwares like Unreal and 3ds Max, so your library stays useful even if your workflow changes later. If you want something simple that stops asset management from being a headache, check out Connector using the link in the description. Number 4. Follow and study your favorite artists. Pick 3 to 5 artists whose work you actually love, the kind of stuff that made you want to learn 3D in the first place. Follow them, then properly study their work. Not just double tapping and scrolling, actually look at what they're doing. What is it about their work that pulls you in? How do they frame their shots? What color palettes do they use? What camera angles show up in their best pieces? Are they using harsh lighting or soft? Do they focus on detail or keep things minimal? If you want to create stuff you actually like, you're probably trying to make something similar to the artists you admire. So figure out what you like about their work and start applying those ideas to your own projects. This isn't about copying them directly. That's obvious and no one wants to see that. It's about understanding the principles behind why their work is good. If you love how an artist uses color, try to figure out their palette choices and why they work. If their composition is always on point, study how they're positioning elements in the frame. This is also a huge motivation boost. When you start seeing your own work inching closer to the style of artists you respect, it keeps you going. You can see the progress, and that matters way more than you'd think, especially early on when everything feels hard and you're wondering if you're even improving. I've stolen ideas from artists I like for years, not copying their work directly, but understanding what makes it good and using those principles. It's helped me more than any tutorial ever has. You're learning from people who are already where you want to be, which is way more valuable than learning from random tutorials that might not even align with your goals. Look, learning Blender isn't some mystery that only talented people can figure out. It's just a process, and most people mess it up by overcomplicating it or trying to do too much at once. The difference between people who get good and people who stay stuck isn't talent or some natural gift for 3D. It's just whether they actually make things instead of endlessly preparing to make things, whether they focus on one area long enough to see real progress, whether they're learning from people whose work they actually want to create. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need expensive hardware or paid software or some special setup. You just need to stop overthinking it and start building stuff, even if it sucks at first. Everyone who's good at Blender now was terrible when they started. The only difference is they kept making things until they weren't terrible anymore. That's it. So, stop watching this video and go make something.